It's been coming for quite a while. We've been using our own systems, but we realized like if we want to have contributors to the outside world, to our open source projects, then GitHub was the best way of getting out there. Same when I worked for Mozilla. In Mozilla we had like SourceSafe, and not SourceSafe, we had other systems, Bugzilla and these kind of things. We realized as soon as we put things on GitHub, we had a lot more contributors. It was much easier for people to talk to us through like issues and to pull requests. So we realized it makes sense to actually be in. And I was kind of worried then because it's like GitHub was like successful, but I didn't see any growth. I didn't see like so many people rely on GitHub. Imagine GitHub going away tomorrow. Most of the open source projects that we rely on in the JavaScript world would be what's going on. We don't know. There's GitLab, there's Bitbucket, there's other opportunities, but GitHub is where everything happened. So I'm actually quite happy that we're not only the biggest contributor, but we also then managed to acquire them. And that opened a lot of doors for GitHub as well, because a lot of enterprise clients or government clients would not look at GitHub as an opportunity, but with the pedigree of Microsoft coming in, as far as I see, we're not changing anything in the subject, in the system, much like we didn't change anything with LinkedIn. So that's something very important to me as well. I don't want GitHub to change. I just want GitHub to be scaling much higher than they are right now. And in essence, it's probably saved us money by like being the biggest contributor and storing most of the data on it. Now it's actually free for us. So. We make terrible decisions right now in the politics and in ethical things, and like it seems like we haven't grown as fast as the technology around us. I've been talking about this in my talk. Like we're in a Star Trek world in terms of technology, but not in a Star Trek world when it comes to humanity and humanitarianism and like talking to other people and sharing wealth and sharing knowledge. We should be measuring ourselves by how much knowledge we share and how much knowledge we accumulate, not how much money we have on the bank account. And that's something where we haven't grown as fast as that. When it comes to comparing human intelligence and artificial intelligence, I think it will always be mimicking human intelligence, because there's like 19 different types of intelligences. There's like emotional intelligence, there's like tactical intelligence, there's how can you say a person is gifted? You can basically say like that person can talk well, that person might not be able to talk, but he's great in music. That person might not be able to actually write, but they're actually great at listening to other people. So saying that one intelligence comparing one-to-one is almost impossible. What I think was a big worry is people how we get dependent on machines and to actually do our thinking. A lot of people are like, oh, well, people can't read maps anymore because they got Google Maps and Bing Maps now. I'm like, yeah, but they don't need that skill any longer. We have now freedom in our head to learn other skills that we haven't had time for. So I think we're just unlocking the potential of humanity with AI and doing a lot of stuff that humans shouldn't do automated. And that way we should have the freedom to actually explore the things that computers can't do. The only problem is like we have to find a way to make that maintainable, to make that actually feasible for people and not just having to live to work basically, or work to live. Yeah. So if we manage to, I mean, whenever there's talk about that, the big talks about like universal income, and I agree with it as well. I mean, we can afford it. We can afford finding the potential in people if we just keep them not busy with surviving. I mean, my dad's the same DNA as me. He was a coal miner his whole life and then a factory worker. Nobody ever told him he's clever enough to write books or be on stage or use computers, but we're the same people to a degree. I just had the chance and the arrogance to go for it. So I think there's the systems that we have are as intelligent. I'm more worried about these intelligent systems being used for greedy measures, for just spying on people, for just showing you ads, using you as your data source and basically trying to sell you as a data format to other people rather than using these systems for making the world better. I think a lot of it is we advertise it as magic, and that's always the confusing thing. Like everything is like, oh my God, that computer knows exactly what you need. We know we can anticipate the next move, which is kind of creepy to a degree. So by being as transparent as possible, what information your system is taking in and what the benefits of it are, that way we can get people less worried about AI and actually realizing that it's already a part of the world. We're past this. We're like, AI is not coming anymore. AI is already here. Not the proper artificial intelligence like the, what it was called, can't get it right now, but basically when the computer starts thinking for themselves. I don't think that's ever going to happen the way it is right now, the way I see how we're actually dealing with it. But it's a great science fiction thing and a very scary thing to tell people in the press. So I really think the more we actually show people how much their data gets analyzed and what comes out of it, the better it is. And that's where UX comes in. That's where beautiful interfaces comes in. That's where like realizing like, okay, you typed this in, we found like 12 typos, but we fixed them for you, don't worry about it kind of interface. Or when I upload an image, automatically giving them a transcription of what the image is about, or showing them like, okay, we realized this image is that color, but if you want to have a placeholder, should that be the background color? Like doing as many things as possible automated for people is a good way of doing it. Another good thing is, of course, when it comes to human interfaces like voice interfaces, and Siri and Cortana and other people do a really good job in that and making that not like this like bad or robot voice, but actually giving them a bit of personality, like making those tell you jokes or giggle or do these kind of things and basically hesitate, and making those voices more human and not so perfect might be another way to get people more excited and less worried about it. So showing people that the computer understands them because of that data is a very important thing. So when it comes to input fields like form fields, search fields, just tell people in a caption around it saying like, hey, by the way, you can ask full sentences. We don't expect you to only use keywords. You can actually say like, give me photos with a parrot in the background taken before February 1912. And people would actually, and the system is clever enough to learn these things. So having not only a search field, but also like example search queries that are not only search queries, but full sentences might make people realize that computers are much more human already than they are.